she got this Time Magazine Civil Rights Titan Award and all of that, we know the woman has done blackface. We know the woman got married on plantation. We know she only got the Time Magazine thing because she donated money to the NAACP 6 years ago.
I could see, what's her name that runs the thing? Who's the designer?
Anna Wintour?
I could see Anna Wintour being like, Blake, you are not coming this year. Like, there's no way. And of course she brought a tray of blueberry slavery muffins for everyone to have, because she just wants to romanticize that deep South history of how the blues came from and where it came from, and the blueberries from the blues. Close to the couple says the choice to pass in this year's gala came before the lawsuit, has nothing to do with it. And for what it's worth, Blake and Ryan aren't shying away from public appearances.
Blake and Ryan won't be at tonight's Met Gala. The couple's plans were revealed in March by multiple outlets, including TMZ. On March 21st, a source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not surprising, saying she's not a Kardashian that goes every year.
Blake Lively, once the golden girl of red carpets and editorial spreads, now finds herself at the center of an unraveling narrative that no amount of glam can cover up. From being a Met Gala co-chair in 2022 to completely vanishing from the scene in 2024, her fall from grace isn't just gossip. It's a case study in how quickly the public and industry can turn when receipts come flooding in.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't attend the Met Gala, but were they rejected from it?
What really happened behind the scenes? Was it a personal decision, or was she quietly removed from the guest list? As more details come to light, controversies, lawsuits, resurfaced clips, and a collapsing charity, Blake's polished image is showing deep cracks. Today, we're diving into the real reason Blake Lively skipped the 2024 Met Gala and what this means for her once untouchable brand. Buckle up. This isn't just a snub. This is a full-blown image crisis. Let's get into it.
Blake and Ryan won't be at tonight's Met Gala. The couple's plans were revealed in March by multiple outlets, including TMZ. On March 21st, a source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not surprising, saying she's not a Kardashian that goes every year.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds skipping the 2024 Met Gala raised eyebrows instantly. While the couple's PR team insisted it was a personal choice, sources close to the event revealed something entirely different. Blake wasn't just absent, she was excluded. This marks the second consecutive year she skipped the event, a suspicious pattern for someone who once obsessed over fashion's biggest night. Even more telling is that the couple's decision not to attend was pushed in March, giving just enough time to spin the narrative before the press caught wind. For a woman whose red carpet appearances have been a staple for over a decade, this absence wasn't a casual pass. It was a deliberate distancing by the fashion elite, and with Anna Wintour, the Met Gala's unofficial gatekeeper, allegedly leading the silent rejection.
They're just saying that they're not going, okay? They don't give a reason. It's just random. They're not going. This woman who loves fashion, who, you know, whether you like her fashion or not, I think it's abhorrent.
Blake's absence feels less like a choice and more like a consequence. Blake's Met Gala troubles didn't materialize out of nowhere. Her past controversies finally caught up with her, and they couldn't be more relevant considering the event's 2024 theme, a celebration of Black cultural influence in fashion. Critics were quick to remind the public of her 2012 wedding held on a southern plantation, her now scrubbed skit mocking stereotypes on live TV, and her curated yet problematic attempts at advocacy. Her image has always leaned heavily on nostalgia and elegance, but some of her choices romanticized very uncomfortable histories.
Or they just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal. But there also could be another side plot, you know, with the speculation and the opinion that maybe they were not welcome.
Rather than confront the past directly, Blake seemed to throw money at the issues, donating here, a statement there. But as this year's theme demanded authenticity and cultural respect, her presence would have clashed dramatically with the message. Simply put, her controversies made her unfit to represent the night's purpose, and the fashion world took note. When it comes to the Met Gala, silence speaks louder than press releases. The lack of invitation from the organizers, particularly fashion icon Anna Wintour, was a symbolic yet powerful message. Blake Lively no longer fits the narrative. Being iced out by someone like Wintour isn't a small matter. It's fashion exile.
I am calling out hypocrisy amongst the powerful people in Hollywood. She's not talking about women in power. She is protecting women in power. And instead, she is going after women just like herself who's trying to make a living from being creators here online.
Sources claim that Winter herself said a polite but firm no behind closed doors, marking a clear boundary. Going from co-chair to ghosted in just 2 years signals a massive shift in perception. While her team tried to gloss over it, insiders and viewers alike recognized the truth. The gala didn't just reject a dress, it rejected the manufactured persona Blake has worked so hard to maintain. And in the world of elite fashion and social commentary, not being seen is often more damning than being dragged.
Tailoring, black style, the celebration of black dandyism, and the influence of black style in the fashion industry history. So, given, her blueberry slave muffins, her wedding at a plantation, I could imagine why they wouldn't go.
Blake and Ryan's PR machine went into full spin mode back in March 2024. Outlets like TMZ and US Weekly started publishing soft stories about the couple opting out of the Met Gala, citing vague reasons like scheduling conflicts. But the messaging was so rehearsed, so uniform across publications, that it reeked of pre-planned damage control. Anyone outside Blake's inner circle saw through it immediately. Instead of owning up to a potential snub, her team tried to reshape the narrative into one of control and choice. But for someone who thrives on public attention, the idea that she simply chose to skip fashion's biggest night felt hollow.
Close to the couple says, the choice to pass in this year's gala came before the lawsuit, has nothing to do with it, and for what it's worth, Blake and Ryan aren't shying away from public appearances.
The PR spin didn't just fail, it highlighted how desperate her team was to manage the fallout. And in today's digital age, fans value authenticity. Trying to manipulate perception only made things worse. The cracks in Blake's image weren't limited to the red carpet. Behind the scenes, a lawsuit between her and actor-director Justin Baldoni exposed even more drama. What's worse, it coincided with the shutdown of Baldoni's Wayfarer Foundation, a nonprofit he co-founded with billionaire Steve Sarowitz. While the official statement claimed they would honor current commitments as they wind down, insiders blamed ballooning legal costs, partly tied to Blake's side of the courtroom drama. The juxtaposition couldn't be more damning. One party quietly trying to preserve a meaningful cause, and the other parading down red carpets pretending everything was fine. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a public relations disaster. And the fact that a real charity had to shutter while Blake promoted her new film left many wondering, who's really paying the price for this feud?
And of course she brought a tray of blueberry slavery muffins for everyone to have, because she just wants to romanticize that deep South history of how the blues came from and where it came from, and the blueberries from the blues.
Blake has long been seen as a polished, relatable celebrity mom. But that image took a serious hit when fans began pointing out inconsistencies in her public stories, especially around her children's birth dates. During an interview with Seth Meyers, she claimed one of her daughters was born on the same day as Napoleon Bonaparte and Jennifer Lawrence. Ryan Reynolds even doubled down on it in another interview. But internet sleuths quickly found out none of their children were born on August 15th. The revelation wasn't just bizarre, it raised deeper questions about why someone would fabricate such oddly specific details. For a woman who once ran a lifestyle blog and built a career off charm and relatability, making up family milestones isn't quirky, it's unsettling. These odd details added fuel to a growing fire. The gap between Blake's curated image and real-life contradictions is widening.
They lied and said that their daughter Betty was born on August 15th on Seth Meyers, and then that's what Blake Lively said. And then Ryan Reynolds said that Betty was born also on August 15th in a Variety interview. I just did those videos. It's deranged.
Time and again, Blake has responded to controversy not with accountability, but with glossy PR campaigns disguised as empowerment. After facing backlash over her plantation wedding, she suddenly appeared on magazine covers promoting feminism. When her SNL sketch was criticized, she pivoted to motherhood content. These shifts often coincide with product launches or film promotions, suggesting they're less about growth and more about strategic distraction. Critics argue that she monetizes personal narratives while avoiding any real ownership of her past missteps. Worse, her attempts to center herself in movements she hasn't truly supported come off as disingenuous. As smaller creators, especially women, get penalized for speaking out, Blake continues to cash in. It's not just about a lack of accountability, it's about using activism as a brand aesthetic rather than a belief system.
I think we can prove they weren't invited. I mean, really? I don't think this is the year to bring Blake Lively. I mean,
yeah.
I agree with you. Like, maybe I could see, what's her name that runs the thing? Who's the designer?
Anna Wintour?
I could see Anna Wintour being like, Blake, you are not coming this year. Like, there's no way.
While the controversy surrounding her absence from the Met Gala raged on, Blake went full throttle promoting A Simple Favor 2, a sequel no one really asked for. The timing couldn't have been worse. She appeared at premieres, panels, and photo ops, fully glammed and beaming, as if there weren't legal battles and PR disasters unfolding behind her. The movie itself was panned by critics, described as a PR fever dream, with more focus on fashion than plot. Behind the scenes, rumors spread that Blake took over editing duties from director Justin Baldoni, adding more tension to an already messy collaboration. For many, her relentless self-promotion amid real social consequences painted a picture of someone more invested in optics than impact. She didn't just ignore the heat, she strutted straight through it in couture, expecting applause.
It is sort of a reality check of why we're still reporting and defending Justin, because Blake's out there at all these Another Simple Favor events and doing all these crazy things, and it seems like there's no problem. She's not suffering at all.
An old interview from Blake's 2016 press tour for a Woody Allen film resurfaced and reignited public criticism. When asked about working with the controversial director, her dismissive and annoyed response shocked viewers. At the time, the clip didn't make waves. Hollywood's protection machinery was still in full force. But years later, the internet wasn't as forgiving. The clip went viral as proof of her entitlement and lack of accountability. It wasn't just a one-off moment of defensiveness. It reflected a pattern of avoiding tough questions with arrogance. In an era where fans demand transparency, Blake's reactions came across as tone-deaf and disconnected. The timing of this resurfaced clip couldn't have been worse, adding another layer to the already collapsing narrative of her carefully manicured public image.
I would assume that there would be a lot of fittings, there would be a lot of things she'd need to do with designers to get ready, both her and Ryan, to be able to be a part of this event. And they have been very busy traveling all over the place for the promo of Another Simple Favor. So I'm guessing that if there is truth to they decided not to go, it may have been because schedules were too busy.
Blake Lively's absence from the Met Gala wasn't just about one night. It symbolized a larger implosion, one that's been building for years. From fake anecdotes and failed activism to lawsuits and silent bans, the foundation of her brand has eroded. Once hailed as the queen of fashion, she now finds herself replaced and barely missed. The public isn't falling for staged selfies or crisis interviews anymore. Even former fans have turned skeptical, dissecting every move for inconsistencies. The press that once celebrated her every gown now questions her credibility. And in the world of high fashion and public perception, once the spell breaks, there's no going back. The spotlight didn't just dim, it moved on. Blake didn't just skip the Met Gala, she was officially uninvited from the kingdom she once ruled.
She got this Time Magazine Civil Rights Titan Award and all of that. We know the woman has done blackface. We know the woman got married on plantation. We know she only got the Time Magazine thing because she donated money to the NAACP 6 years ago.
So, what's next for Blake Lively? That's the million-dollar question. When the public turns and the elite ice you out, there are only two paths: reinvention or retreat. For now, it seems Blake is still clinging to the narrative she built, but the foundation is cracked and the audience isn't buying it. The Met Gala snub wasn't a minor fashion miss. It was a symbolic rejection of everything her brand has come to represent. Maybe there's room for redemption, but that road requires humility, not spin. And as the fashion world, entertainment media, and fans alike call out the hypocrisy, one thing is certain: this isn't just about a dress. It's about the fall of a carefully curated empire. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this overdue, or has cancel culture gone too far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more brutally honest breakdowns.